at all with his build? I mean, generally speaking, your build between a running back and a wide receiver is different, even though some have said he's been.
You know, someone was asking me about that in regards to a certain recruit earlier today. It's interesting that you asked me that. And I'm one of those that don't try to nine-dot a young man into being this because he looks like that. I'm all about letting any individual, allow an individual to be the best that they can possibly be at who they are and what they are. So how Deontay Sheffield is built or whatever, I don't pay attention to that. This is what we have to get done at wide receiver, and he's doing a good job of getting that accomplished.
Do you have an idea of how much we'll see him early on, or what kind of role he'll be in for the first few weeks of the season?
That still remains to be seen. You know, we had a big scrimmage yesterday. Deontay played well, but he's at a position where we have the two injured guys, Naquan Murray, DJ Matthews. We have two exciting freshmen there, and Keyshawn Helton and Trayshawn Harrison. So he's in a loaded position, but he's not backing away from the competition at all. So how that materializes, we probably have another 4 or 5 days of true evaluation before we really horn in as far as Virginia Tech is concerned and all. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. I'm waiting to see myself.
Coach, speaking of Keyshawn, we asked Coach Taggart earlier about how you guys kind of found him late in the process. Just talk about when he first came to your attention and what you thought of him.
Well, initially, because he wasn't one of those ballyhoo recruits or whatever that means. But we went up to Pensacola area to see a couple other recruits, to be perfectly honest. But the one that all the high schools, every high school we went to, they raved about this little kid, Keyshawn Helton. We said, "Are you kidding me?" But when we kept hearing that over and over, we researched it and did a little bit. Once we got to know the young man a little bit and saw the intangibles that he possesses and all, we said, "Hey, this kid, if nothing else, would be great for your locker room as far as bringing that out and being one of those glue guys that brings everything together." Well, lo and behold, he got here in late June. Summer conditioning workouts. I kept hearing from the players throughout the summer, we can't be out there with him, about how this guy was performing. So I said, okay, well, we'll see once everybody gets there, once the pads gets on. So myself, like others, doubting Keyshawn Helton, and that's the driving force behind it, is the fact that people have doubted him his whole life because he's not this or not that or whatever. So he uses that as motivation, and that's what he's continued to do. And he's doing some very, very impressive things for a true freshman, whether he's a 5-star or no star. I don't know about that, but I am happy that he's here at Florida State.
Have you seen that in your experience, a guy that maybe gets kind of left behind all these recruiting services, he has that certain edge and it's really been a driving force? You've seen some players in your career that really thrived on that?
Well, we call it recruiting, but what you're really dealing with is people. And people are going to be people. You're going to have great expectations for some, but everybody adapts to different environments differently. Sometimes they materialize, sometimes they do not. But all they look for is opportunity. Keyshawn Helton, that's all he's ever asked for. He don't need this extra, that extra, or what have you. Just give me an opportunity. He got that opportunity. Willie Taggart is big on that particular regard. There's no caste system set here. We don't care whether they're a freshman or whether they're experienced 5-year guys. The best players play. And up to this point, he's proved to be one of our best football players.
Trayshawn in that discussion too?
Trayshawn is different in this regard, and I say different because we knew about Trayshawn. We had been strongly recruiting him when we were at the University of Oregon, with him being from the state of Washington. We had him in camps and all, so we knew a great deal about Trayshawn. The challenge there was getting him to come across the country to take on this challenge. And once he decided to, we knew about the athletic ability, but once he said, "I'm going to Florida State," that told us a great deal about what's on the inside of him. Because for him to come across the country, not knowing anyone except some of the members of our coaching staff, to say, "I want to go compete with the best, I'm going to Florida State," that told a great deal. And now his athletic ability is starting to surface out there on the football field. But for those of us who already knew about him, that's no surprise to us. In fact, we expected it.
Overall, were you pleased with your group here 2 weeks in the preseason?
Well, you're never going to, Chris, get me to say I'm pleased because we're always thinking, working what little thing that we can get better at. But I am pleased with the attitude and with the chemistry, the work ethic, the buy-in, and we just keep getting better. Like I tell the staff, we keep getting a little bit better every day, and if we do that, and we stack those little bits each day on top of each other, by the end of the season, I feel good about what we're going to have at the wide receiver position.
When did you and Willie Taggart first cross paths, and what was that first initial meeting like?
Well, I tell you, Willie and I didn't know each other at all. I had coached at Stanford. He coached at Stanford after I had been there, so I had heard of his name, but I didn't know Willie. And at the time, my daughter was going to the University of South Florida to play volleyball, and I had just completed an internship with Arizona Cardinals. So in my free time, Willie was nice enough to let me come over there and watch practice and that type of thing. And then after that, he and I would start talking some. I would give him my thoughts on what I saw and all. But it was funny, they kind of say love at first sight. I don't want to put it in that category, but for whatever reason, from the first time he and I met, we just sort of bonded. We were kindred spirits. We meshed, personalities meshed. It was amazing. We would talk on the phone or whatever. Hadn't been around each other for a couple of months, and we would be thinking very similar thoughts. And we said, well, something like this may work. So opportunity came up at USF. Willie asked me would I do it. I thought about it initially, and I said, hey, yeah, let's go and give this a ride. And it was in the personnel department. And from that point on, I feel like our chemistry, our bond has just grown incrementally in that particular regard. And I kind of took my family across the world to go to Oregon with them because I got such respect for him. And now we're back at a university, at an institution like Florida State. And David Kelly has tremendous respect and belief in what Willie Taggart is doing.
Coach, with Coach Fry here and Coach Higgins here, you have two coaches that have played here at FSU. How important is that as a reference point for you guys as new coaches?
Well, actually, it's hugely important in regards to how we see the world. And what I mean by that is, Willie Taggart, myself, we grew up believing in the philosophy of what Bobby Bowden instituted here at Florida State, and that became the basis of both of our coaching philosophies, coaching visions. So to be able to come back and make that connection with something that we've revered, to be perfectly honest, and to have individuals that could be a part of that connection, who live that experience, and now is a part of ours, it's invaluable as far as what we're trying to do. We're constantly asking scenarios come up, how would Coach Bowden have handled that? Because our visions are so very eerily similar, and we have resources to tell us this is how that would have been dealt with in that scenario. So, as I said before, it's invaluable to have those guys. And not only are they talented individuals, not only are they a connection to the past, but also they're outstanding people to work with, and that makes it a winning formula.
What is it philosophically that jumps out to you about Willie Taggart? You said it was kind of whatever, not love at first sight, but you guys connected right off the bat. There's some personality traits he has that really kind of draws you and draws recruits and other coaches.
Well, I tell you what, all I've done my entire life since I got in the coaching profession is studied this game and tried to improve myself in various areas, and especially the mental and emotional part, because I felt like that was an area that people don't attack enough that you could gain an edge in. And because of that, when I met Willie Taggart, I said, this guy's a little bit different, but different in a great way. And what I've seen and what I have learned from a guy who's younger than I is how he relates and connects with the players. And even in the challenging times at USF, what got him over the hump was the players' extreme belief in Willie Taggart and what he's about. And he has a very, very unique way of allowing a young man to grow and be the best that individual is, but do it within a confined or defined disciplined environment. And because of that is why he's had success. And his success purely derives from the players' love for him because they know he loves them.
Let's go to the last question here.
From the Tampa Bay area, we got a guy, Warren Thompson. Just kind of what have you seen from him, and how's he look so far in fall?
Well, I tell you what everybody here likes to compare Warren to is someone who was of similar size way back when in Kelvin Benjamin. So that's just because of the size factor, automatically that becomes a comparison in that regard. But Warren is a kid who is very astute. He wants to be great. He has that type of work ethic. At times, he's a little tough on himself because he is a perfectionist in nature. But that's a great thing. You'd rather have to pull him back than to say, hey, pick him up or that type of deal. But I really feel like Warren has a tremendous future here. He wants to be there right now, and as I tell him, it's a process. Just believe in the process and keep working like he is, and he will eventually mature into whatever he decides to be. But I'm real excited about Warren, a great young man to be working with and coaching.